Hello everyone and welcome back to our course on a TI84 calculator, and today we are going to be teaching you how to calculate the standard deviation and mean of a particular dataset. So if you are year 9 student to year 11 students, you should have learned about standard deviation. I think you already know mean since middle school probably, but standard deviation basically calculates how far away a dataset from the mean. So for instance, in the stock market, which is in finance, standard deviation is used to calculate the risk involved in a particular investment. And we can also use standard deviation to see whether there are too many outliers, which are the data set which are too far away, maybe too less or too large from the mean average. So today we're going to use a pretty easy example that is high of a lot of students. So you just have to go to stat and you just click 1, and now you can see my data. So assume that I have a class, I'm the teacher, I have a math class with 6 students. So maybe Ben, David, maybe something else. So we have 8 students in our 6 students in our class, and I'm going to find the height, find the average and the mean of their height. So we have students that's 180, we have students that's 175, we have 140. This is in centimeters, and we have 160 and 159. So now we're going to calculate the mean and standard deviation. It is pretty fast. We just have to after we type in the list. So you can also type your data into the list, and I just want to tell you how to delete a data. So if you want to delete a data, you don't have to click delete, you can just fill it with something else. And now if I want it back to be 165, I just have to click it. But in the end of the video, I'm going to teach you how to clear a list. That is also pretty demanding for many students. They want to know how to do it. Okay, so these are my data. And what you have to do is click stats again, and you can see calc. So in calc basically means calculation. And you just have to click 1, first variable sheet. And now you have the list. So now you can change your list. If you want to, you can actually do second 2. So you have list 2, but we haven't have anything in list 2. Yes, we only did list 1. So we're going to do list 1. And just now I told we have just now it's list 1. And for the frequency list, we don't need anything. Just ignore it. Continue with enter. And now we're up to calculate. So now just enter, and now boom, you have the data right here. So this particular part here, that is x with horizontal line above, is basically the mean height of the 6 students in my math class. So we have students that is 180, we have students that is 140, probably a little bit short for high school, but the average is basically 163. So the average height, which is by adding up this height of the 6 students and dividing by 6, which is the number of term, which is n, and now we get 163 centimeters. And now I don't want to go through this data right here, but minimum, definitely we know the minimum is 140, and now we need to know about Sx and this x. So Sx basically is the standard deviation for a particular sample, which is the amount of possibly, for example, there are 10 students, you're calculating standard deviation from 6 of them, you are going to be using Sx. But now, in general, if we have 6 students and we are calculating the standard deviation of the 6 students, which means in this case, definitely it is the case since we have only one list and we are calculating all data from the list without another list attached. So now we're going to look at this. As you can see, the sample standard deviation and this, which is called a population standard deviation, have a little bit of difference and divergence inside their data. So basically, our answer, which we follow, is this. So how do we infer number 12 is basically when larger the standard deviation means the more the outlier, or the more the different students with heights that are far away from the average. For instance, for our students, as you can see, we have students that is 140 and 180. So of course, we have some students that are far away from our 163 average. But if another class, maybe Mr. Davis class, if Mr. Davis class has students that have a 2 meters height or 190 meters height, and the average is about 170, then their standard deviation will be larger than my class because there are more students with a height that is considered as an outlier, that is a height too far away from the average. Or if the average is 170 and I have a student 135, that also is an outlier that is too short for the class, and 190 is too high or too tall for the class, sorry. So this is basically about standard deviation and mean. So yeah, this is pretty much about this short video on the basic of statistics. And now in the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to clear a list. So when you want to clear a particular list, this means you want to clear list 1 and you want to input some other information there, maybe for a new exam. Once your first exam is finished, you just have to click second and go to plus. So after second plus, you see you have the memory management and delete. So number 2 is your best friend when you want to clear many stuff, no matter it is matrices, no matter it is statistics, you just go to number 2, and then you have different lists. And now actually you can do all, which means we want to clear all your list. But now we only want to, so we can do it here. You see list 1, and you can just click delete. Do you see delete right here? And after that, you don't have list 1. If you go to statistics again and add it, you can see your list 1 is clear. But what's the problem with this is you lost list 1, because in this method, it clears your list 1, so you don't have number 1. So this is probably not the best way. This is probably not the best way to have this, to have our thing. So now, what do we do is actually have the second way to clear list. For instance, let's just use L2 for example. If we have some data in L2, for instance, like we have 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. So I want to clear the list right here. So this is my next list. I want to clear, but I also don't want the whole list to be lost. I still want the list, but I want some new data to be entered rather than this old one. What do I do is I go to statistics again, and we have, in added we have a CLR list, which stands for clear list, and we go to number 4, and then you have to enter your list. So just now my list is number 2. So L2 is basically the blue text. That means we have to apply second, and second 2 basically give us L2. And if we do enter, now it's done. So if we go back again and see our list 2, we can add new information inside. So this is pretty much about this video. In the next video, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into statistic information and statistic analysis. So see you guys in the next video, and if you have any questions, please comment in the comment section below.